Good evening. I am back. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Thank you all for the nice comments and the asking how I was. And those of you with the sarcastic comments, I'll say nothing. To be honest, I wasn't expecting that much sympathy because my own mother turned around and said, well, why are you not doing the show tonight? Is your foot, it's far enough away from your mouth. So I kind of thought, well, that's probably the way things, oh my good God. Nothing was broken apart from the table. Nothing was broken. Put that down, you idiot. Put that down. Oh my goodness. Let's just see who we've got on the text. I'll tell you all about it later on. Actually, I wish someone had video it because I would have made 250 quid off You've Been Framed quite easily. Only me. Evening to Tony Miller, Sammy Bones, thank you for asking. Denise Gordon, yes, you are working, Denise. Afternoon, Roy in sunny SoCal. I take that Southern California. Evening, Carl. Thank you for your messages. Joshua Halliday, Harry MacArthur, Amy and Denise are in Coke. Gillian Douglas Ray. Hi, how is Jensen? Hope he's keeping well. John Hugh is watching from Liverpool. Roy Patterson, Davy Logan. Edward Fellows is watching in Windy Winford. That's a mouthful and a half there. How, as I said, is in Glasgow. Keith Allenson. Susan Sweeney's watching from Liverpool. Rebecca Marks and Jordan are also watching. I'm assuming you're in Ballymena tonight, or maybe you're in Cullyback. It's Roy always waits for a wee update to see where you're at. Stephen Martin says it's the best part. Stephen Martin says it's the best part of the week. I'm glad that your life. Well, I'm not. I feel sorry for you, Stephen. If your life is so sad that this is what cheers you up. Listening to us, Rabbit, but it's the bands. I know it's the bands.
Here, hang your horses there, Valerie.
Yes, Stephen.
You're the one that always says this is what you look forward to every single week.
I have a really sad life.
And coming here and sitting conversing with me. You were tears all week because you didn't get to talk to me on Saturday night because you were too busy looking after
people watching. It's the people watching. Carl, Keith Allenson, Alistair McKellar's in Edinburgh, Billy King's watching, Jim Elliott, Lyndon Neely, Keith Johnston, Eddie Torney says, thank goodness you're back, Val, even if you do hate Ballyhalbert. I don't hate Ballyhalbert, that's the thing. Jean Kerr is watching. Davy Semple says, welcome back. Mark Anderson says, good evening, Valerie. Hope your foot is a lot better this week. Dave Smith says, perfect tunes for my birthday drinks. Good for you, Dave. I'm afraid I'm in the orange tonight, but we never know. We'll see. Roberta and Eddie are watching. Stephen Campbell says, TGFI, always look forward to my Friday fix. Well, we'll definitely have a great selection for you this evening. Joan Strawbridge, Sylvia Slane, Brian Emerson, June Creamer, John King is watching in Omid. Alan McGraw, break a leg, Valerie. Oh my goodness. I didn't break anything, though apparently I should have done. It would have been easier.
There's a stop press update.
What's that?
Jordan's in Ballymena and Rebecca's in Cullyback.
Oh my goodness, watching secretly. Oh, there's been a row in the camp. Oh, tell us more. Come on, we need
Scandal.
Scandal. Karen Robbins is watching from Liverpool, right? Hi from Liverpool. Jensen's bed, skull is knackered and my, oh God, love him, the poor wee dote. My young boy hasn't started. He starts next Tuesday. Thankfully, his dad's not working, so that means that he can try getting him out of bed because I really don't want that. Mummy is watching. Your adopted mummy is watching as always. Sammy Bones is watching The Military Tattoo on BBC One. Oh, Sammy. Tape it for me. I forgot actually all about it. Robert Cleland is watching from East Belfast, Pride of the Raven Country. Rab Conville, Anne Hindman, Davy U. Pritchard, no table dancing tonight. I'll tell you all about how I wrecked myself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I am going to get to that now. Tonight, we are so delighted to have Neil Glass along with us, who is awards from On the March videos.
Hi.
And Neil has chosen all of tonight's clips, and I've seen his choices. They are really, really good. Really great night of clips up ahead. Different bands that we probably haven't played on here for a few nights, I would safely say, for most of them. And it's what?
Sorry.
He's chatting away there. I don't know who he's talking to. Yeah, so bands that we haven't seen for a week or two, so it's really, really good to have them on again. So I know you're going to enjoy it. Different bands, not big names, The vast majority of them wouldn't be big names. They're not the East Belfast's, China, before you even asked. But you're really going to enjoy the selection. Anyway, now, Neil, first band tonight you have chosen is, of course, the band who should have had their parade tonight, which is?
Southdown Defenders from Newry.
It is indeed. And this is a great clip of them taken by Neil himself last year, playing I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles.
This wee clip here was their 40th anniversary, and they had just revealed their new uniform on the 12th of July last year, and it was great to see them out in their hometown walking in their new uniform.
Lovely. Sounds good. Well, let's have a wee bit listen. Listen and watch. Yeah, that'll do. Great sound there from South Defenders. I'm just getting a wee message in there from Faye. Faye is in Stonyford tonight instead of Limavady, her and the family, and she asked me to give her a shout out for her sister Laura. I've been sitting here going, right, Laura's married to Biggie, I know that much. What is Biggie's surname? Could not remember, and I've literally, Bickerstaff, I had literally sent a message to Lisa and Roy going, the big bass drummer in Clocher, what's his last name? So Laura Bickerstaff, I hope you are feeling better soon. She had a fall last Saturday and ended up in the Royal, dislocated and fractured her shoulder. Ouch! Oh, goodness. I think you've beat me there, Laura. Hands down. You've definitely beat me on the pain stakes. There's no doubt about that. So hope you're feeling better soon. And loads of spoiling. I have to say, the nurses in this residential of mine have been crap. I ended up having to get up, Neil, honest to goodness, you wouldn't believe it. I had to get up on Sunday myself to make my Sunday dinner at 4:30. Like, I lay and waited, and nobody brought anything to me. I had to, like, hop out of bed, come down the stairs and my arse, literally.
Because you've got 2 feet, only one of them was hurt.
Did you ever try hopping with a sore foot?
Yes.
I
had a smashed kneecap, so I had to do everything myself.
Oh, you're a man. These are always moaning and complaining. So literally what happened was, right, the last Saturday, as she moans and complains, last Saturday, we have a palm tree outside the front of the house, right? And when the leaves are dead in it, they fall over. And with the wind and all that there last week, all the storms, they were flying all over the place. And I thought, I'd be really good. I'll do a bit of tidying up for a change because I'm not that fond of housework. And I says, I'll do a wee bit of tidying up for a change. And I started to pull these leaves down because I thought it's easier me pulling them down in a controlled fashion than the wind blowing them everywhere. And I got all the ones that I could reach. And then there was all the ones higher up that I couldn't reach. So sitting at the front of the house was a wooden picnic table. And I says, I'll stand on that. And I trailed it over beside the tree. And there was only me and my dad there. So my dad, he's partially paralyzed on the left-hand side through brain hemorrhage. But so he looks at me and he goes, will that table hold you? And I was like, of course it will. Of course it will. So of course I steps up on the bench and then up onto the table. And I no sooner had got myself straightened up and about to reach for the tree than literally the table just gave way and one fell. So I went straight down through the table. I didn't get to straighten. I didn't get to bend. I didn't go one side or the other. I literally just went straight down. I'm actually really lucky I didn't break both ankles in one go.
Valerie.
What?
You happen to forget to mention that Mother Dearest brought your dinner in. All you had to do was reheat it.
She brought the dinner in.
That's up.
I didn't even have to reheat it, or they didn't even have to reheat it. All they had to do was put it in a plate and bring it up the stairs to me, and nobody did. I was disgusted, absolutely disgusted.
Your mother brought it all the way from her house to your house for you, so she was looking after you. And your sinners.
But anyway, so there's me stuck in the middle of this table because it's got like put up the picture, Roy. Put up the picture to see it. This is the table one. I'm stuck in the middle of this table, right? So there's my dad with one working arm. Me can't put my feet to the ground because they're so sore. Trying to figure out how me and my dad are going to lift this table over my head. And of course, God love him, he says to me, "Here, do you want my stick for me to try and walk?" Oh my goodness. Oh, honestly, if somebody had been videoing it, I could laugh about it afterwards, but at the time...
At this point, per table. R.I.P. per table. Per table. May you rest in pieces.
The table is finished, I'll tell you that much. The table's days are numbered, absolutely.
Look at that table, Valerie. I'm a skinny, and I wouldn't even stand in that because I'd probably fall through the slats.
I just went straight through it. It's bound to be the funniest thing ever to see. I just straight down through it. Oh dear goodness. But anyway, it's been a painful few days, I'll tell you. Today's the first day I actually had a shoe on. You just swore the shoes were 2 sizes too big for me. Now, well, let's get back to a few of these comments. Where'd I got to? Yes, Mick McDowell is watching in Blackburn, West Lothian. Caden's asking, are any Clooney volunteers? No, Caden, I'm sorry, they're not on the list from Neil. Keith McCormick says, good evening, hop along. Raymond Yule says, good to have you back. Margaret McKeown is watching in Ballymena. William Fenton is watching. Alan Rowan is watching from Maryhill, Glasgow. Shout out for Greg. Claire Cochran is watching. Mary McKee, Rebecca March, Rab Sweeney. Janice Dick is watching in Easter House in Glasgow. Gillian wants to know, can we slip the flutes and drums in early next Saturday night for Jensen as his 7th birthday next Sunday? We absolutely will. We'll make sure of it. Send me a wee private message to the page, Gillian, so that remember, because I have a head like a sieve. Absolutely. Davy Thompson is watching. Good woman. Kenny McKnight is watching from Glasgow. Adrian McElvena, haven't been on for a while. Glad to be back. Why not, Adrian? You need to have a reasonable excuse. You just can't come on here and say you haven't been on. We need fully certified doctor's note to know why. Now, let me see. GRH Brem is watching from Vernon in Glasgow. Irvin McCabe, his birthday is on Monday, so I'll have to note that down. Irvine, your birthday is coming on Monday. Roy, don't let me forget the birthdays tonight again.
Of course I'll let you forget them, since I forgot them last week.
Neil, we're depending on you tonight to keep us right. Taylor is watching in Dover. David Sheridan, everyone. David, I was asked to give a great big shout out to you from your wonderful wife, Victoria. I think she deserves to be taken out for a nice romantic meal. Flowers, delivered the whole works. She didn't tell me to tell you that. I decided that I would tell you that. Ashley Ray is watching from Canada. Lovely to have you, Ashley. Really, really glad to see you on board with us. Hopefully you like the music. Eddie Torney says, I'm surprised China's not on begging. Yeah, I've seen loads of his begging pictures and comments all week. It's been great. Carl Clyde says, hello, Valerie, love to see you back. And thanks to Roy for the last week at short notice. You done very well. Lots of love from Paul and Carol and Amavati. Sammy Bones has been raising money this week on the spin bike for Inspire charity. Well done, Sammy. Good for you. Let me just see. I think I've got caught up. Harry wants to know, could we wish my grandson Red of the Black Skull? Is that his name? Just Red, Harry? I'm writing it down. Now, let's see if we can get our next tune. Who have you picked next, Neil?
Next up is Montober from Cookstown. When you think of Cookstown, you don't always think of Montober Flute Band. Normally, Sons of William and that, we come to your mind first. But this week's clip was taken by Richard back in 2017, and it's their centenary parade. So them and the lodge were walking out to the Orange Hall, where then they later on had a short service of Thanksgiving for 100 years of Montober Flute Band.
Hey Neil, I take it they weren't serving tea and that's why you weren't there.
No buns.
No buns.
Neil has a bit of a reputation where knows all the parade where they're serving tea, wee buns and sandwiches, don't you know?
That's right. Love my tea.
So this is Montober. I actually love Montober band. They would be one of my favorites. A really, really nice style of band. And this is them from 2017. Brilliant clip there of Montober doing really, really well. A couple of really good messages in here. I want to give a wee shout out to them. Billy McDonald says that because obviously they can't march tomorrow with the new restrictions coming in, etc., their Black Preceptorate is having a memorial service at the Shankhill Memorial Garden at 1 p.m. Normally in a situation like this here, I would say I'm sure they would be delighted to see you. Please go along to support them. But in this situation, they probably won't, because the restriction is for 15. It's really, really hard to know what to do tomorrow, because you're torn. You kind of want to go and support them, but with the restriction of 15, and then if the band doesn't stick to the restriction of 15, then I would worry about bands getting in trouble, because there'll be people just purposely out, as well as I do, they will be purposely out looking for a band not adhering to 15. It's a bit, it's like a catch-22,
What was the last band called?
What, sorry?
What was the last band called?
Montober.
Okay.
Did it come up on this? Did it come up in the subtitles as Notober?
No, because you did say Montoner.
Did I? Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. Apologies.
Denise picked you up on it, not me.
It was maybe the subtitles. You ruined my flow. I was getting on my soapbox there. I was doing so well.
Yep.
That's why I stopped you.
No, it's just I do know. I mean, you could have done a band of 15 and said that was your drum corps, and a band of 15 or your flute corps, and a band of 15 being your colour party. But the thing about it is, something like that there wouldn't go past the Parades Commission, because I do know that for Derry Day, for instance, when bands were going through, they were saying about two bands starting off from roughly the same area at round about the same time and finishing in the same area at the same time. And they were putting restrictions on them because they didn't want those amount of people. So when you think of 15 and 15 and 15, obviously 45, so they didn't want all of them together.
Bands had, well, only two of them paraded, but they had three bands starting from the Protestant Hall, all at the same time. Two of them finishing at the same place. The third band then was going down to.
Did you read to see was there any condition put on it? And nope. I only know this because I read the things on the Parades Commission site.
There was no restrictions placed on them whatsoever.
See, that's what worries me, that, you know, like if a band would put in for like a 15 and 15 and 15, that's the approach they would take, that because the whole idea of the numbers restriction is to stop too many people congregating in this one place. And if a band's starting at the same place as another band, then that's when the problem is. It's not the band on parade as such, it's that congregation of people at the beginning and the end. And that's what worries me much more than anything else, really. And plus the fact we don't want to be spreading around among our own community is the words I'm looking for. Now,
Valerie, some bands can walk with people can gather with more than 15 people if they carry out a risk assessment.
Yeah. You see, and then that worries me for a completely different reason, right? Because we've always avoided having to do risk assessments before for parades. Mm-hmm. So, you know, is this just a way of kind of bringing that in by a back door as well? Does every band want to be having to do a risk assessment for the next time they go to parade? You know, because you know what they're like. Once we do one thing, then they're hell's.
But what I would say about that is the 12th. Everybody was expecting an explosion of COVID cases after the 12th parades, because all in all there was quite a few who didn't adhere to the 30. But if you look at all the main areas of COVID explosions at the minute are all nationalist areas. It's the GAA clubs that's been having to close back down again, and the chapels.
The Felons Club. One of the clubs they all congregated in before and after the funeral.
Exactly. But that's the whole big thing about it.
He's got me going now. You did that badness, Roy. You wound me up something awful. Right, let's go to another band. Neil, who have you chosen next? I did see that there was a couple of people asking for some Scottish accordion bands. You are going to please them now, Neil.
Well, this is a new band to me. I've never seen or heard of them before. And it was the video that attracted me. The video was brilliant. A lot of us are in bands for traditional reasons or cultural reasons. But one thing we'll have to remember, being in a band has to be fun. And if you look at the faces and the photographs in this video of Thornleybank accordion band from Glasgow, the faces just light up, and the video is brilliant when you just see so many people enjoying themselves.
I have to say, I always had fun in the band. May not have looked like it when you saw me on parade, but I always had fun in the band. This is, as Neil says, the Thornleybank Accordion Band. They're playing a lovely wee march, which I hadn't heard that often, I have to say. I recognised it when I heard it, the Triumph March. And as Neil said, the video accompanying it is from photographs of the band throughout the years in various places like Glasgow, Lanarkshire, Belfast, and so on. So enjoy this wee look down memory lane for Thornley Accordion Band. Lovely there, seeing all those photographs from over the years. I think every band should do that. Gather together all your informal snaps and put a bit of your music behind it and throw it on YouTube so we can get all to see it. And if there's enough of them, we'll maybe have just an evening of watching old band snaps and listening to the music at the same time. I think that's a good idea.
Is that any much different than seeing you every week?
Seeing you every week?
Seeing you every week. Old band snaps. Can I just give a wee shout out to Wayne, Jolene, Lizzie and Joel who are watching, and Joel want a wee shout out.
Joel Jackson is watching from Ballykelly. Sammy Bones says, got to say well done, Coleraine. Of course, in their big win last night, even if it will kill him to say as a Ballymena man. Barry White says, good evening from Liverpool. William, I am Doctor, says that's what stepladders are for. I know I am. And to be honest, I was just too lazy and the table was there. You know, if I'd have known, well, I obviously would have done. Johnny Thompson was the one who was asked in for Scottish accordion bands on. And hopefully that will have kept you happy, Johnny. And if you keep an eye, there might be at least one more. Cameron M. Russell says hi from a loyalist Orange man in Clydebank, LOL 2000. Laura McConnell is watching. Hiya, Laura, if you're still there. Mark Catherwood is still hoping there's a few accordions on. Philip Mackay is watching in Banbridge there. Hopes everyone is keeping well. Morris Wark is watching. Mary Irvine is watching from Lanarkshire. Jim Laughlin is watching. Jordan's birthday is on Monday. We'll have to get you included in our birthday shout outs. Jordan, that's from Rebecca. Hiya, Scott. Good to see you on with us this evening. James Rogers is watching from Cumber. Willie Main wants to give, and this is a fantastic giving, wants us to give a shout out for Andy Gibney from Rathcoole Protestant Boys, who is cycling 400 miles around the Republic to raise money and awareness for suicide and mental health. Well done to you, Andy. Wishing you all the best.
Absolutely loving all his pictures and his wee stories that he's sending, you know, his wee updates from the thing, and you get to see his room he stays in every night, and he's finding some bargain rooms that look absolutely fantastic. I think if ever I'm down that way, I'll be hitting them up to get the details of the addresses.
I'll have to see if I can find them and share them on the Facebook page. David Sheridan says, I took Victoria out last week for slap up meal, KFC bargain bucket and a bottle of Buckfast. Last of the big spenders, David. That's you. Last of the big spenders. Gillian says, Rich Jensen is milking at school and dinner at Scalini's and a shed load of Playmobil. Oh, good for him. Authorities, my mum says authorities won't do anything about how many people is parading. Scott Clark says they walked with about 60 or 70 in the ranks in Derry Day and weren't restricted at all, to be honest. Tony Miller says he loved Derry Day this year. Good crowds around the town. That'll have been Ballymena. But us as a band, we've done the distance thing as best as we could. Everybody stay safe. And that's the most important thing. Just to stay safe. Mark Graham quite rightly says the risk assessment has to take into consideration the spectators, and it's just impossible to say how many is going to come out and watch. It's very irritating. That is totally right, Mark. It's you don't know. You have, and as I said, even for the 12th, we have no control over the spectators as bands. And the difficulty is that when the spectators misbehave, as many bands have found out, the bands get the blame for what the spectators do. You know, and it's very unfair. Penny Johnson says, it's not often you hear a band playing the bass hand. That is true. Sometimes you wish they wouldn't, Penny, when you do hear them. Not that band, not Thorley Bank, right? Okay. But I have heard some bands where there is somebody playing the left hand. You think, no, please just stop. Philip Mackay says, has the parade in Rathflynan tomorrow night been cancelled? It was on the Parades Commission website earlier in the week, but wasn't there when I was checking for details tomorrow. I genuinely don't know, Philip. Maybe somebody who's listening will know. And Tony Miller says they were a good size on Derry Day with still people missing. Now, let's go to our next tune, Neil. What have you picked? I know this is one I think we featured them a while back, but it's probably a couple of months back, believe it or not.
Well, it's a band that you would actually only see every now and again. I mean, they don't seem to walk as often. Silver Plains from up around Ballycastle. Again, you don't see them that often. This clip was taken by Adrian back in 2014. And it's a decent wee clip considering the age.
Brilliant. So this is them, as Neil says, in 2014, and it's Silver Plain. I think they're actually at the Ballykeel Parade. So How about listen to this? Great there from Silver Plains. I think the first one was the Road to Passchendaele. I know the second one I would need to go through the words in order to get to the eventual bit of it that'll tell me the title of it, but I'm sure some of you will keep me right. Now, the next thing, and the one thing that we absolutely have to cover, and I'm surprised that I've managed to get going so long without being pulled up on. I mean, it's 20 to 9, and how I've managed to get it this evening without being told off for not playing a silver band. So we are going to immediately remedy this. This is Neil's clip of Tempo Silver Band. Why did you pick this one, Neil? Any particular reason, or just because you liked it?
Well, when you think of silver bands, this isn't one of the bands that comes to mind. It's a band I don't think I've actually ever seen or recorded. This clip's from 2014 at the Rome Parade, and it's recorded by a guy that I don't know, the Splash 55. He doesn't have very many clips on his YouTube channel, but what he has is pretty good.
He would do a lot of their contests, and he concentrates mainly in the brass band because I've used quite a few clips of his, and he would do a lot of the contests that they have down in the Valley Leisure Centre or Valley Hotel or whatever it is. Yeah. You know, like they're big long clips of their full, you know, a silver band's full program. Some very, very good clips as well, and I'm sure this one is no different. So this is them playing When the Saints Go Betrayal. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. I just saw it popping there up at the corner of my eye. So this is Tempo Silver Band playing When the Saints Go Marching In at their own parade. Couldn't get my mute button there. That was brilliant. Very, very good picking, Neil. Good picking. Absolutely. Davy Logan loves that as well. He thought that was great. Jean Kerr says, thank goodness, Neil, you've played a Fermanagh band tonight. You would think to listen to Eugene, we never played any Fermanagh bands on here. How terrible are you?
I think there's 3 on tonight.
There you go. Jean's going to be even happier. Brian Emerson has got in touch there just to let us know that some Ballyray Silver members are doing 5K a day for August to try and raise funds. And like all bands, I mean, his band's no exception, the bills keep coming in. And there's nothing coming in money-wise. We can't have parades to raise our money. So if you do see any band doing anything collecting-wise, please do give whatever you can afford, because it's tough times. But, you know, we'll get through it. We will absolutely get through it and be stronger and better next year. So a few more wee text messages in there. Carl said that was a great wee band. Mabel Graham has joined us this evening. Kenny Dunnigan is just on. Kenny, you're late. Where's your excuse note? If not, it's going to be lines. He is watching in Larne, which is, of course, the home of Dunnigan's accordion. SJ Sinclair is watching from Glasgow, and Carl Thompson is watching from Salford, UK. James Shankland is watching from Belfast Naval Club, just arrived, and he says hi to Jim and Mandy Stout at Donaghadee. Johnny McCann's just in. Johnny, you are late as well. Where are all these late ones coming from? Were you like parading somewhere? Didn't tell the rest of us. That's not good enough. My goodness. Now, we're back to Blood and Thunder again for this next wee band. Neil, do you want to tell us a little bit about it, why you chose this clip?
Well, Firhill, again, is one of those bands that's kind of in the background. When you think of North Belfast, it's normally Pride of Shore, but I chose Firhill for a difference. And this clip by Richard was taken on the 1st of July in East Belfast. This wee band's been going from strength to strength the last couple of years, which is great to see. Their numbers as well up, and they're playing really, really well at the minute.
Brilliant. So this is them last year. So we'll take a look, and hopefully they'll be twice as good next year, no matter how good they are now. So this is Firhill at the Song Parade, the 1st of July. Brilliant there, sounding really well. And hopefully the next time we see them, there'll be a lot more Orange Men walking behind them as well. I hope that everyone sees what they're missing and appreciates what they're missing now this year that we haven't been able to get out and march and parade and to watch all of the ones. Just looking here, Lena Cookwood said that was a great band. Now, Kenny Dummigan, there is a vicious rumour going around. I'm not wanting to, tell tales on who started it, Brian Blair, but he's saying you're late because you were ironing your money. You can tell us whether there's any truth in that whatsoever or not.
That's why China's still late, because he's still earning his.
Trevor Davidson says he's watching from home. Well, that's very informative, Trevor. That doesn't tell us much. Like what country, that would be a good start. Craig McGinley is watching from Cumbernauld in Scotland. Susan Stanfield McCann. Now, Johnny, were you and Susan away in the one place? Like, is there something you two want to tell us? And Susan, of course, had her birthday during the week. So happy birthday to you, Susan. We will be including you in our birthday. If you thought I was going to forget you, then I think, come on, listen, lassie. Emma Edwards is watching in Long there. Carl Thompson is asking, have I any clips of the Pride of the Valley in the late 70s from Londonderry? There's a very good chance, Carl. I'll be quite honest. I'm sure most of you have saw the video collection before. Like, this is just a complete bookcase filled with kindly donated to us by the wonderful Gordon Corbett, who has given us this whole collection for posterity so that it can be put onto YouTube. When I get through to it. So, this is Glasgow 2005. Can you see that there? Oh, it's upside down. No, it was the right way. Glasgow 2005. This one here is the Loyalist Fighting to the 307th anniversary, 1996. What else have we got here? Kirkcaldy, East London. So, like, I mean, there could very well be a clip of them in here, but I think, is it nearly 300 DVDs, CDs, and all that kind of stuff sitting there? I'll get through them eventually, and if not, I'm just going to bung them over to Lisa and Roy today. Sorry, guys, I just landed that on you now. Kenny says he had to do a daddy taxi. Money. Now Trevor's come back to update us. He is in Glenweary, Neil Ballymena. That is much better, Trevor. Susan and Johnny were shopping. I hope it wasn't just like grocery shopping, Susan. I hope it was something exciting. I don't know. Marion McElravy, my wee second mummy's on. Hiya, Marion. Hope you're keeping well. I love this next clip. Thought it was absolutely brilliant. Taken, of course, by an extremely talented musician in his own right, Laurie Johnson. And it is, of course, of Ballygowan parading in Ballygowan itself after Black Saturday in 2011. How on earth did you come across this one, Neil? This is a brilliant find.
Yeah, I've absolutely loved looking for videos for this collection. And I found all sorts of clips from people that I didn't know even did videos. I fell in love with Ballygowan probably at Lisburn Young Defenders Indoor a couple of years ago when they were there. And then during lockdown, if you can catch up with Ballygowan's Facebook page, they done Band of Brothers, which would bring you to tears. It's absolutely amazing. So I thought with tomorrow being Black Saturday and this week clip having the Black Men and Ballygowan, it had to be in.
Oh, it definitely does. And of course, with Black Saturday being tomorrow, we're going to try and gear our program tomorrow night to Black Saturday. Lisa is looking out loads of clips from various Black Saturday locations over the years. I know that our biggest struggle actually is to cut them down so that we can get them fitted into like an hour and a half or 2 hour show. But I know she'll have picked up some fantastic clips. She also says she's sitting waiting patiently for the videotapes. Tony Miller is quite right. You could be waiting a while. You know what I'm like. I have a head like a sieve and I always have too much to do, but they'll get done. Honestly, they'll get done. And if they don't, I'll leave them to Lisa in my wall. How's that? Make sure that they're definitely done.
Too many tables to fall through.
I have too many tables to fall through. I could have seen through if I fell off a table when I was drunk because I have been known to dance on tables. Not professionally, before anyone else says anything. Just acting like an idiot. But, sober in the middle of the afternoon, trying to shed leaves of a tree. I'm telling you that cleaning carry on is too dangerous. I'm going to do no more of that. This is, Adrian says, Valerie, say Kirkcaldy. I'm not even going to try and say it because obviously I've said it wrong. Let's watch Ballygowan.
Hard.
brilliant there from Ballygowan. Did anybody notice the bass drummer? I just happened to notice out of the corner of my eye. He wasn't playing a normal melody or part music bass drummer. He was going at it like a blood and thunder guy. I was uber impressed. Oh, did you notice that?
That takes me back to being a wee boy, because I carried the string from my father's lodge, and they always had Johnson Star from White Abbey, and that song was played every single year. It just takes me back to being a child.
Our director, oh, so popular. What was I going to say? Now, the next band, I'm just reading there. Lisa had said, at least we know what my previous job was. My previous job was not dancing on tables, I have to say. Sammy Bones want to know, have I any of Tinnies in Brashear in 1980 as Uncle carried the banner? I definitely do have Tinnies. It would be late 80s, I think, is the earliest that I would have of them. There may be more in this whole range, but I know that there's definitely a Tinnies in 88 or 89, might be. See, S. Jessica wants to know, you're too funny. Are you in the booze? I'm not. Look, proof. It's just orange juice.
Valerie, just because you're showing us a can doesn't mean to say you haven't poured the gin into it already.
I
seen the empty bottle of gin behind you.
I couldn't be bothered making up lies. If I'm drinking gin or beer and this here, you're being told about it. Like, there's no back doors or secrets here whatsoever. Sometimes a bit too much. Gary Beale says the Blues and Royals are parading around Sydenham tomorrow. We would love the support. Now, Gary, how on earth do you do your risk assessment and say how many people are going to turn up if you're going to ask all of us Highlands up to see you? There's 100 nearly watching at the minute. We're all going to land up in East Belfast, and then you're going to be snookered, aren't you? Carl Thompson says they're a similar band to the Churchill from Londonderry. They are indeed, and another band here similar from the Churchill are Hamilton, who we have later on the show, another one of Neil's clips. The next clip that Neil has chosen, super band from Newton Stewart. They are, of course, Red Hand Defenders, and it's quite funny because when a good friend of mine, Davy Clark, out of Red Hand Defenders, Newton Stewart, heard that I'd fallen and hurt my ankle, he then made the same sort of comment about dancing on tables and how I would miss the money from it. There's a common theme going on here with you guys, isn't there? So tell us why you picked this particular one of Red Hand Defenders. There's a lot of good clips of them on the internet, I have to say, on YouTube.
Red Hand Defenders, I wouldn't see very often. With me being in East Antrim and them being away out west, we can get to see the Newton Stewart very often. Probably at Easter would be a regular occurrence, Easter Tuesday or Easter Monday, sorry. But if you follow somebody on Facebook, Red Hand Defenders have a fantastic Facebook page. It's very active, always bringing things up to date, and they always have plenty on there. So this week's clip was taken by the brothers Andrew and Stuart, and it's at Cowan Memorials Parade in Strabane. Strabane's a town I've never ever been in, so that's one thing I have to try and do along the lines, get to this parade sometime. But it's a great band, a great clip.
It's the Cowan Memorials Parade, not outside Strabane. I don't think there's any band parades in Strabane itself, though I could be wrong.
Couldn't honestly tell you.
No, I know we're saying Mills is, and it's just, it's outside Strabane. I don't know that they'd be too happy with a band parade's going through Strabane, but hey, times could have changed. So this is Red Hand Defenders, Newton Stewart. There's the man himself, Davy. Davy's in. He says it's definitely Sam Mills, 2 miles outside Strabane. Davy, is there any parades take part in Strabane at all? Robert Goldsmith says he thinks the last one was in 1975. That's a long time ago. I suppose you were maybe in your early 20s, Roy, then. I got it in before you did. Otherwise, you would have been saying things about me. There's no doubt about that there. Davy, come and tell us. Is there any, I don't even Sunday services or anything like that there? I wouldn't imagine there is, which is a pity. It's another town lost to us, but listen, we'll get it back. Now, the next one, I have to say, I loved this one, Neil. I really, really did love this one. It's not actually a tune, a march even, that I have heard played on the accordions before, and it's played by Old Park Accordion. I just wish it was an actual video of the band itself, as opposed to the front of the album that it comes from, which is a brilliant album as well, by the way. Marching on the 12th. Did you ever see Old Park in their heyday?
No, Elaine was in Old Park. She's telling me that she played the triangle, and her first ever parade was on the last Saturday in August.
Oh, brilliant.
But I'm playing this for my future mother and father-in-law. Jim was in the band, and the band did have a lot of people who would compose music and stuff. So they would maybe put marches together themselves, and they played a lot of competitions. So the march might have been made exactly for a competition. But there's very few clips on the internet or videos or photographs. And anything on YouTube actually comes from an LP or an album.
Now, we're just going to have to start there because you give me an interesting fact. What was your dad's surname then?
Walsh.
Jim Walsh. Was he something to do with the Accordion Band League?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't know.
You do know.
You probably do.
Yes.
Small world. You see, I can remember Old Park when they were still playing and competing. So, you know, that's how I knew they were really, really good in their heyday. They're now, oh my goodness, I'm very nearly too scared to say this. Are they still on the go, or are they?
No.
I thought that. But I didn't want to say it. There, Neil has finished a band now, not me.
No. Sadly, they had moved out of Belfast and moved to Rush Park, and they were practicing down Rush Park for a while in Newton Abbey. But they eventually folded about 15 years ago, I think.
That's sad. They were a really, really good band. And whenever the listeners and watchers hear this here, they'll know exactly what they mean. And I actually have heard them play better than this as well. But this is still very good. This is the Kathleen March, which I'm guessing was an arrangement or a composition of theirs. Elaine? I'll ask Elaine because Neil, you'll not know.
We'll find out. We'll give Jim a wee text.
Find out and let us know, because I had never ever heard it before, but it's a super, super wee march, and I'm sure you will all agree once you hear it. Was that great? I think that could do a run for many an accordion band even now. I don't know how many years ago that is. I'd say it's probably a few years ago that album's out, but could definitely do a run yet.
Valerie,
Yes.
I've just got sent a picture. Is this the after effects of your garden?
I can't see it. It'll take a minute or two to come up for me.
Oh.
What have you done? What? I can't see nothing yet.
Look at the camera picture. Look at the camera.
You cheeky sod! It's bad enough that I broke a table, for God's sake, without putting a hole like that in the garden. Oh, you hellion. That's not very nice at all. Where's Michelle? Tell Michelle to hit you a slap.
Following.
Davy Logan, I like him. Sorry, go on ahead.
So it was arranged by Harry Gillespie, who was the conductor of the band, and it's at least 35 years old.
Brilliant march. Brilliant. Really, really good. Like that one. Davy Logan, I like your thinking. He says he watched the Tattoo later on iPlayer. UBF gets a priori. You're right, Davy. Well, I suppose these ones that are sort of like multitasking and watching it on TV and this on the phone at the same time aren't doing too bad. Carl Porter says that Strabane District have their 12th in Doneymana. And Davy Clark says that the last major parade in Strabane ended in a riot. I could very well believe it. But a parade has been taking place, or has taken place, in the outskirts of the town a few years back. A new banner dedicated. Yeah, you just have to sort of keep sneaking in, really, don't you? Tad Adamson is watching from work. Duck, Dad. I hope your boss doesn't catch you. Murray Irvine loves that tune. Maggie. Was it in the middle? I know that Let 'Em Go, Let 'Em Tie was the first one.
Maggie
and then
was the second one.
No.
Or Maggie.
Was it Maggie?
Yeah.
And then I think Kathleen as well. So that was good. Yes, Mary recognised that one too. Mistwee Town. Oh, Sammy said Mistwee Town was on Ballycastle Band was Parade and Silver Plains. Yes, that was Ballymena. Yes, that's right. Kenny Dumming on all button key accordions. Trying to remember, was there a couple of piano keys in it? Kenny might have been, but there was definitely a lot of piano keys. And my mother is thinking, yeah, it's a good picture of my lawn. It's any much wonder I always say I'm adopted.
I think your mother started that rumor first of all.
Likely. John China says, thanks for all the kind donations to the East Belfast Protestant Boys 1337 venture. Folks, if you haven't given yet, watch your Really Bins.
And if you haven't given yet, get onto the East Belfast Protestant Boys Facebook page and click the Just Giving link and get giving.
Robert Goldsmith says, I fully understand, Valerie. I once sat on a glass table. Needless to say, he ended up with some stitches. My mother and them won't let me around glass tables, Neil, because I have a tendency to break them. So, yeah, it wasn't going to be standing on a glass table in my house because I'm not allowed.
Mrs. Quinn.
Sorry?
Mrs. Quinn, since we're halfway into the show, do you not think it'd be a good time to make your announcement?
Oh! Which one?
About your pregnancy?
Yes.
About your pregnancy?
So you remember at the beginning of August, we had our collection for cancer research, for Ballymoney cancer research in particular. Thank goodness you said, Roy. And I was literally talking about this before you came on the show. You see, head like a sieve. So at some stage, we've made a mistake in the telephone number. And we have given, I'll take the blame, I have given the wrong number in some way or format. And those of you who sent a text to the wrong number will not have got a message. And if you check your bill, you will also not have donated any money, okay? So if you did make a donation that night, and if you have checked your bill, and if you haven't seen the money coming off your account, whether it's your pay as you go or whether it is your contract, okay, please donate to the correct number. The correct number should have been 70180. At some stage, I managed to confuse it and got it 70810, which was complete and utter stupidity on my behalf anyway. Yes, I know. How stupid. So it's 70, and then remember 180 for the darts. I should have had that in my head or something, or done something to remember myself. But it's 70180. And you will definitely get a response. So all those people who sent me money through PayPal, I have been going through and sending that again with the correct response back on your behalf. So that will all be going from mine. So it is 70180. And then in capitals, it will be Ballymoney, all in caps. It has to be in capitals or else it won't go neither. And then the numbers 5, 3, 10, 20, 30, whichever you originally did. But please check your bill to make sure it hasn't already come out. So it could either be I got the number wrong, or you got the number wrong, or somebody got the number wrong, but the number got wrong somewhere. Okay, I'll take the blame. Say it was me. And the number, Muriel, I got my mum to test it tonight. She tested it, and they immediately got a thank you text back. Okay, so please first check your bill, because I know there was a few of you did check it and got in touch with me, said that the 10p went out for the text, but not the actual donation amount. Okay, so it's not a scam. My mother says to me, have you heard anything more how much they raised for charity? Because you don't want folks like it was a scam. And I says, no, I haven't. So we chased it up. And this is what we found out happened. Okay, I got it wrong. It's 180. Think of the darts, okay? And then Ballymoney in caps, and then your smaller number. And please do redo your donation that you originally done. You're not going to be donating twice, because the first one definitely will not have. If you sent it to the wrong number, it will definitely not have come out of your account. Okay, so I do apologize. I'll take the blame for it. We don't know where it got mixed up, but I'll say it was my fault. Okay, so apologies for that there. So we have a lot of donations still to come in that I know that you wonderful, generous people all did make. And yes, Denise, that totally explains, but yours is sent through my PayPal, through me texting it for you, and anyone who did send it that way has done so. So I put a post and I pin it onto the Ulster Bands Forum page and I checked all my posts actually on the Ulster Bands Forum page, and I definitely did give the right number. So some of you might have done it correctly. It just seems to be on the night on the videos with the wrong number across the bottom of the screen, and then I kept announcing the wrong number. So
well, that must be my fault then. If the right number was everywhere else, then I must have put the wrong number.
No. It's not. We're not into a portion of blame.
I'm just saying. I'll take my bit of the blame. But I've got them. Just check the number. Look at this. Look at the cash screen. Is that definitely the right number? That's
no space between the Ballymoney and 10.
No space.
No space at all. Okay. So Sammy says his is okay. He used 70180. And did you notice it coming out of your account and all at the time, Sammy? Because it would have definitely been out long before now. And I got people that were texting me and going, the 10p for the text has come out, but not the money. And this explains why, okay? Because the money didn't come out. So it's not that you're going to end up paying the money twice. It's just simply the fact that it didn't go anywhere at all. And I do apologize for that. Of course I made a donation in your page, China. Well, yes, Denise is saying as long as the money was raised, that's the main point. Well, yeah, the money was raised, but not as much as you guys thought you were donating, if you know what I mean, which kind of, I'm so gutted that we got that messed up, absolutely gutted. We've never done anything like that before. I don't know if we'll ever do anything like that again. But that's what happened, okay? So what I want to do is give everybody an opportunity to you thought you donated, so I want to give you an opportunity to make sure that you did donate. So don't do anything. Check first that it hasn't come out of your account. And if you see that it hasn't come out of your account, then I would be eternally grateful if you did use the correct number. Oh, dear. Who was it said? Not often. That's the first a woman saying she's wrong. I have been known on the odd occasion, not often. It was only when I thought I was wrong that I was wrong. Does that make sense? Now, our next band, getting on to, thank you for reminding me about that, Roy. Our next band is Sinnott's True Blues. Now, Neil sent his list to me in advance. His name of this song was Stop the Bus, I Want a Wee Wee. I'm not sure that's the correct name of it, Neil, but why did you pick this band?
This is a wee band that's been struggling lately. They've been finding it hard to get out on the road. And this wee clip goes back to 2012 when they had quite a few more members. And hopefully they'll get back that way again.
Brilliant. So this is Senator Two Blues playing at Mogashel Sons of Ulster Parade in 2012. And as Neil says, they're playing Stop the Bus, I Want a Wee Wee. I was just totally fixated on the colour party there. I just couldn't take my eyes off. Oh, it's a pity. I always hate to hear of I always hate to hear of bands struggling. So Trevor William Monaghan texted the number 70180 and got a reply, but had to write them out for 30. See, Trevor, I did say that to the guys because I was playing about with it and I was trying different things and I was saying, do you text the number or write the number, or is it 30 or is it 30 as in text? And they said, no, it's definitely the number. But I had the same with 30 because mine was a donation of 30 and I had the same problem with it. So not too sure. Did you get a thank you once you eventually got it through, Trevor? Hopefully you did. So thank you all for being so kind and doing that for me. And totally, well, we'll say it's totally my fault because it's daftness. I should have picked it up somewhere. So, Glory, Glory, Glasgow Rangers. Oh, well then that means the proper name for that tune is John Brown's Brodie. There we go. We don't have to call it Stop the Bus, I Want a Wee Wee anymore, Neil. It's the proper name, and that's called John Brown's Body. John Brown's body lies a mouldering in the grave. That's what it is. Brilliant. We've got a name for it now. Okay, we treat for you all. We normally would have a pipe band about this point in time. And I think we've maybe had this one on before, but it's a brilliant clip, Neil, isn't it?
It's a great clip, and it's my excuse to squeeze in another silver band as well, so it is. But yeah, the crowds in the street, it's 5 Mile Town, a parade I've never been to, but it looks fantastic.
It's it's Cavanagh Lake Pipe Band and Murley Silver Band. I think they seem to do this every year because I've seen clips of them joining together a few times. I think we played another one. We played Killaloe as well by them both.
This clip itself is about 12 minutes long. We'll play about 4 tunes, so just pick one out of it.
Sammy, I did sing it. Did you not miss? Did you miss my singing? I sang it a wee bit. So this is them playing My Aunt Jane. I am sorry to have to tell you, but neither of those tunes were my Aunt Jane.
I think I must have picked the wrong clip.
I'll do that all the time, but I listen to a clip and then write it all down and then find a better clip and replace it, but forget to change the rhyme. The two tunes there were, of course, Grandfather's Clock and I'll Tell Me Ma. Oh, so I was sitting here going, I wonder how many people are going to point this out. So, but if you, and you're all right, it is, of course, my Grandfather's Clock and my I'll Tell Me Ma, both two brilliant tunes. Now, we are going to do the birthdays, aren't we, Roy? Are we ready for the birthday? Yes, brilliant. So, should have asked you guys, all of you. So if anybody that's doing a birthday, let me know quickly while I'm reading these ones out. So as always, we want to send our birthday wishes to anyone who had a birthday during the week, who had a birthday during the weekend, or even last weekend, saying Roy forgot to do them on the Saturday night. I thought it was just me forgot about the birthdays, but thank goodness Roy did it too. So this goes out this evening to Irvine McCabe, whose birthday is on Monday, to Harry MacArthur's grandson, Red, who is in the Black Skull from Glasgow, to Jordan, whose birthday is on Monday, and he will be 23 on Monday, to Susan Stanfield McCann, whose 23rd birthday was on Wednesday during the week there, and also Kent here asked me to give a big shout out to Bob Malcolm, who is 60 years young as well. So happy birthday to you all. Happy birthday to anyone else who has been celebrating their birthday this week but is maybe too shy. Mary Irvine says her daughter's birthday is tomorrow. Nicola Irvine, who lives in Wigan, so happy birthday to you as well. Anyone else who's maybe too shy and don't want to broadcast the fact that they're 21 plus VAT, happy birthday to you as well. And again, we'll have another birthday segment tomorrow night. So happy birthday to you all. And happy birthday, my wee niece Amy was 10 on Monday the 24th there. We'll include Amy as well, Sammy. So happy birthday to you all. And this is from all of us here at Ulster Bands 4. Hans Jordan is saying, it's my Aunt Jane and I'll Tell Me Ma, not the same tune with different words. The tunes are very similar, but there are subtle differences in them, Hans. My aunt, I'm not even going to try and sing it, but my Aunt Jane goes up in particular places, goes up in places that I'll Tell Me Ma doesn't. They start off very, very similar, and there are absolutely resemblance between them, but they are two subtly different tunes. No, Sammy, I am not going to sing it. Lindsay Dunbar's birthday was Tuesday past, or is that Johnny? Johnny, are you using Lindsay's Facebook? But anyway, happy birthday. Anyway, we'll include you all in that there. And Susan, did you see Johnny was laughing at the idea of you 23? Have you not told him our new philosophy? So Susan and I have a completely new philosophy. That once you reach a certain age, you then go back to 21 and start counting again, so that when anyone asks, you can say, well, I'm 21 or I'm 22 for the second time. It works really, really well. Stanley Beck,
well, that's about 104 times you've said you're 21.
I'm just going to ignore you. Thank you very much. Stanley Beckett is 100 today, and Kilmore Band played at his house tonight from Warringstown. Well done. Happy birthday to you, sir. And also a good friend of mine who comes on here sometimes. Oh my goodness, my brain's gone blank.
That good a friend, you don't even remember their name.
Oh, I do. Brian Graham. His father was 102 there during the week as well. Absolutely fantastic. So happy birthday to him, Brian. I don't think you're on the night. Brian would love us to do a night full of hymns and hymn tunes from bands. I don't know. Let me know whether you think it's a good idea or not. Penny Johnson, you are watching. Yes, I did see your message. I was working at the time, so I didn't get a chance to reply. I was sitting in a quite boring meeting, so scrolling through my phone. Penny has suggested a night of mishaps, and like of bands where like. I did see one time, which was absolutely brilliant, where the big drummer didn't see the pelican in the middle and just went head over heels. But finding those clips would be an absolute nightmare. Susan Sweeney's birthday was on Monday. Brian Emerson was 21 in April 92. So you're 21 times 3? Yes. Carl Thompson says, I bet you've no clips from Kildog Band in the 70s from Londonderry. To be honest, any clips prior to the late 80s are virtually impossible to get. The earliest clips I have, I think of an 84. I think it's 84 or 85, which is a parade in, it's actually Carntall's parade in Newton Abbey. In Ballyclare. I also have an 84 1 or 5-1, maybe 88. I can't remember the year exactly.
You also have to remember, whenever you started praying Valley, it was all silent videos in black and white. So that's why there's not many of them about anymore. Because they used to use the films again and re-record over them.
I'm injured. You have to be nice to me.
I have more sympathy for the poor table.
That's not very nice. I'm feeling sensitive and no, I'm not. Yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, you lost my train of thought now. You lost my train of thought. Yeah, anything before like the late 80s is really, really hard to get to. So unless it's someone's home Cine camera or something like that, you're very, very unlikely to get videos of them. But I mean, I love seeing them. I absolutely do. Everybody knows I'm a oldies fan. Yes, Lindsay has said you'll get the Belfast Black 1984 on YouTube. I do believe it is one of the ones that little Miss Lisa has already eyed out. I think she told me that is the one with the good clip of the Regal. I think she said there was a good clip of the Regal in one of them. So that's possibly it. Now, we are going to move on. The next band, Neil, is who?
Pride of the Derg from Castledarg, a band that doesn't seem to travel too far. And when you think of Castledarg, it isn't the first band that comes to your mind. But they're a great wee band. This video was taken by Loyal Star 98, and it's at Kiln Mini 12th. I had to look up where Kiln is, which is just outside Castledarg in County Tyrone. And there's not enough arrangemen, so the bands walk on their own just to make the parade that bit bigger. So it's a great wee clip.
It definitely will be. I always thought it's maybe the one that I'm thinking of is Canallan outside Dromore.
No.
Yeah, so it's a different one.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Funny, the first band that always comes to mind when I think of Castledarg is Castledarg Young Loyalists, and always you tend to forget there's another band from there as well. Is there just the one, or is there more than one band actually from Castledarg, or more than two?
There's a Castledarg Young Loyalists Old Boys who do quite a few parades, Loyal Order parades, but that's the only other flute band that I know from there. But they don't seem to travel too far.
Don't travel as much. I mean, Castledarg are everywhere. I mean, they're absolutely brilliant. Big or small, they travel the distance. Now, this is them, as Neil says, playing the YCV Brigade in. Are we sure this is the right name of the tune? No. This is Pride of the Derg playing YCV Parade in 2019. Brilliant there. Yeah, somebody said that they saw them. Who was it said there? I read it and then I had scrolled on to a different one. Brian says he saw them at Kale a few years ago with 6 flutes and 3 drummers plus bass, and they were brilliant. You know, sometimes the smaller bands play every bit as well. Sometimes get a few passengers with the really, really big bands, like you know the way China is with East Belfast. You would tend to get passengers. Oh, Lisa says she's got a short clip of County Down Black from '97 lined up for tomorrow. Robert says the reunion with Roy and Valerie could be interesting. It's not going to be interesting at all, Robert. I am just going to kick him in the shins. That's all there's going to be to it. Oh dear. Brilliant wee band, all shoes polished and smart uniform, says Carl about Pride of the Derg. Lindsay says Belfast Black 1984 was his. He's got loads of videos here, but wouldn't have a clue how to get them on. Ronstadt sorted the 84 Black onto YouTube a few years ago. Well, Lindsay, you take your videos to Ronstadt and you tell him that his dancing partner says that they have to get put on YouTube or else. It's as simple as that. There'll be no more tangoing. That'll be the end of the tangoing if he doesn't get those sorted for you. Brian says he remembers a good one a few years ago when our drum major had a wee slip up in Londonderry. Took it all good spirits. That's the Lord Carson Memorial Accordion. Hilarious clip. You'll have to find it for us and let us see it. David Clark says it's a small village of Killeen outside the Derg that parades is a mini 12th. Tracks a lot of bands down the years as well as Orange Man. Sometimes, you know, the parades in the small villages can be the most fun. And even the ones where you're walking along playing to the cows are quite fun. It's just whatever you make, isn't it really? Now, where are we going to go next? I've scrolled my screen up too far. I don't know where I'm at anymore. Yes. We'll have a little chill moment, okay? And give us all time to listen to some beautiful playing. Really super clip, this one, Neil.
Yeah, when I've been searching through different videos for making the list together, and there's clips that just stick out and you think that's perfect. You mean, I thought it might have been a good one maybe to finish the list, but it is one that you just sit back, listen to, and it's Hamilton. They're playing at Churchill's Indoor, and the way it's put together is just beautiful.
It's absolutely fantastic. They are playing here Abide With Me along with the last post. 2 slow tunes, obviously, and slow pieces of music, but just played beautifully. You cannot help but admire the musical skill. absolutely superb there. Just the way that the two of those mission together is just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well chosen, Neil. Absolutely. Oh, round of applause for the choosing there. Now, the next band, we have definitely had this clip on before, and I can remember being very astounded when someone happened to say that they had never heard an accordion band play in Aces High before. This one, Neil, another Scottish accordion band. Do you like the Scottish accordion bands? We've got two of them, just two in this evening.
Yeah, I listen to bands 7 days a week and more if I could. And when you're searching around and you find all these different clips and different bands that you'd never seen before, I do remember this clip being on, but it was quite a while ago. And I thought this was a very good clip. Aces High is probably my favourite. I love it when all sorts of bands play it, and I just thought this was very good.
That's what you call hedging your bets, Neil. You love it when all sorts of bands play it.
I love all sorts of bands.
But let's just face it, the accordion's won hands down every day. Wee Birdie told me that Mr. Roy was actually saying good things about accordion bands last week.
That's right.
I said one line good about accordions last week, and I told you that. I was the little birdie that told you that, Valerie.
I didn't say you told me. I just said that you said.
I know if I missed a show, which I can't, then it wouldn't be a show. I would watch it back, but Valerie didn't watch last week's show at all.
I didn't. No, that's not true. That's not true. I did watch some of it. I didn't want to come on live when you were on because, well, first of all, I was sleeping through the part of it because the painkillers were knocking me out, and secondly, I didn't want to make you nervous. You know the way when you're having to do things in front of your teacher and things like that, there you become very nervous, and I didn't want you becoming very nervous in front of me. Knowing that I was there.
I know you're old enough to be my teacher, like from primary school, because you'd still be that, but. Yeah, but you weren't.
It nearly choked you.
So you weren't here. But there was a show. I wasn't here, and there wasn't a show. So what would that say?
That's only because you have the software at your end in order to do all the clicking together the clips. If I had it here, we wouldn't need you. Right? Go play Queen Elizabeth.
You can have the software's on the internet. You can download it. There you go.
I have a powerful enough computer, well, you know it. Put on Queen Elizabeth accordion band and stop Saturn. nearly choked there. Brian, you said exactly what I was thinking, only you put it slightly different. But he's a very, very tall drum major, even without the busby. He was very tall. Very, very tall indeed. Now, oh, yes, you're going to really enjoy this next clip. We kind of had to cut the start off just a tiny little bit because there was a kind of introduction ahead of it, and singing and that there sort of bled a little bit into the oh no, I'm talking about the next tune. I'm not talking about this. This tune doesn't have any introduction. This tune's straight in, Neil. I put my screen up too high. Oh, it's all going to pop now, isn't it?
These days, Neil, hey?
It's all going to pop now. Tell us about your next clip, Neil.
Well, again, trying to search for bands that maybe aren't on everybody's tongue. When you think of Kilkeel, you don't think of Rising Sons of the Valley. And this week clip by Robert was taken on the 12th day or the 13th day just last. And they're a great wee band. It's actually on the road over 30 years now. And they got a new uniform last year. And again, their numbers are up the last couple of years, which is great to see. And I think they're playing really well here.
Good friend of mine, Gareth here, has been in it since the very first day.
And speaking of Kilkeel, we're missing the Kilkeel band tonight. Or Mr. Bandsman.
Well, he's not just restricted to Kilkeel bands now.
I know
let's
he's
face
not,
it.
but Mr. Kilkeel, Mr. Bands, Josh
Mr. Bandsman,
Mr. Bandsman went, yeah, he's not in.
No, he's not. Oh, very strange, very strange. So this is Rising Sons of the Valley playing this year at the, well, I suppose it's the 12th on the 13th of July. Not too sure. What were you playing at there, Roy? What was going on?
The system took a mind of its own and jumped screens. I was like, what's going on? But once it bounces off the screen, it rewinds itself automatically. So then I had to get it back to where it was roughly.
Ever hear that saying, Neil, that a bad workman always brings
Neil, do you fancy, Neil, you've got the list there. Do you fancy presenting the rest of this show?
I mean, I don't think I could do the same sort of job, but
Easy enough. We can make a muck of it. It's just as easy as Valerie can. I showed that last
What are
week.
you trying to say? I'm perfection. Like, it never put a foot wrong. Don't know what you mean at all. Now, this next tune, I did introduce before. Because there was, there's a little bit of a tune, this opening song, etc. for this here. And although it's great to listen to, it sort of bleeds into the march. So we have a little bit of it clipped out just to, give you the full band. You're right, Paul. A good workman never blames his tools. You're right. Davy Logan says technical difficulties is the term you should be using, Roy. Yes, so the next, I love this next clip, I have to say, absolutely superb. How did you come across? I've never seen this clip neither.
I would just call it the Valerie effect.
Last year when I was at an indoor event in Ballymena, I got talking to Mr. Young out of Believe Flute Band, and I've known him for a long time. Believe used to be my favourite band way back when I was in a band, and if my own band wasn't out, I used to go and follow Believe. And they have their own YouTube channel, which is called Orange and Blue TV or OMB TV. So it's Believe TV, and it's like a catalogue of Believe and all their videos from way back when they were the Blues and Royals. And when I found this channel, I mean, I just spent hours and hours on Believe TV going through all this. And it started off with Captain Pugwash, so I'm not sure if that's a bit you had to cut out, but it's just the way they put it together. It's called Sailor's Parade, and it's just fantastic.
No, we managed to keep that in. It's just the first couple of seconds where there's kind of bleed of the vocals. As Neil says, this is Believe Flute Band. Is this when they were actually B-Bar still?
No, I think this one here is at Ballykeels Indoor just about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, so it's only 4 years ago, and this is them playing a arrangement called Sailor's Parade. Press the wrong mouse. Superb there. Can somebody tell me, is that Big Bush sitting at the end of the back row of flitters on the right-hand side, Johnny Duck?
Out of I used to be in Cullibaggy.
He is a rival for Joshua Morris, Mr. Bandsman. Aye, he's a rival for the title of Mr. Bandsman because he was in Mourne. He's played in so many bands. Sir George White, you name them.
Like QLL 472.
I don't know.
He was because he was in it whenever I was in it.
Was he? Yeah. I think he's maybe still holding the title. I think Joshua maybe just has a couple of bands to reach to him. But was that him?
I believe so.
Yeah, because I knew he played with them for a while as well. I think he's playing with Cookstown Sons of William at the minute, though I'm not 100% certain. I think so. Where are we going next? Oh, we're going to now. I have to say, I don't think I've ever seen. Well, I've seen them in videos, obviously, but I don't think I've ever seen them in real life before. This next band of yours, Neil?
It's another band that sort of slides under the radar, and they're not the first one that comes to your mind when you think of Limavady. But this week's clip was taken by Ruth, which is great to see Ruth back out taking videos again. She had given up a wee while when she took up the colour part on Muddy Dig. But it's great to see Pride of the Orange back on the road and looking good.
Brilliant.
Jumping bands again, because if you haven't seen Pride of the Orange Ballinarrig before Valerie Quinn, I would be so much astounded. I would be so much astounded if you hadn't seen.
I was just about to ask if someone could check if there's any alcohol in this. Because I read instead Ballymena Young Conquerors, who are down later on, and then the band after that is Tanakill, and then Neil started talking about from Limavady, and I was going, I'm bound to know them. And then he finished off talking about Ruth, and I went, I'm the completely wrong band. It's been one of those nights, it really has. So this is Pride of Orange, as Neil said. Neil, thank goodness you're here to keep me right tonight. In 2019, playing Killaloo. Brilliant there. And of course, I kind of have seen them before many, many, many times. Now, I love your next clip. I'm trying to remember, am I in this or not? I'm not 100% certain. I might be standing at the back somewhere. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how many bands are involved in this one. This is a mass band taken at the Northern Ireland Championships in Carrickfergus. This video was taken by Mark, who's Loyal Star 98. I'd like to say congratulations to Mark. Mark concentrates mainly on accordion and pipe bands, but his YouTube channel at the minute's absolutely flying. He's well over 10,000 followers now. And when you look down through the comments on his videos, they come from right around the world. And the hits he's getting on his videos is brilliant. So well done, Mark.
Great job. Absolutely great job. We message in there from Maureen Walsh, who would like to wish Neil and Elaine a long and happy marriage beginning October 17th. Is that yourself and Elaine?
That is, yes.
You're getting, this is the big day, October 17th.
That's right, yes.
Didn't know that.
We picked that Saturday because that should have been the Saturday after the last band parade, which meant there was no parades on that day.
Here, Neil, at least you won't be short of knowing anybody to take videos or pictures for you.
True enough.
That is very, very true. The next band are playing probably what is the most popular march for accordion bands. There's probably very, very few accordion bands don't play this in some format or another. It is Ormiston. I always loved playing it. I can remember one of our old bandmasters, Harris Jarrah. It was always the first march that we played walking out of Townhead car park, and it always just set the band off. Brilliant tempo, brilliant sound. It just set you off for a cracking night. This is Ormiston, played by the mass bands at the Accordion Band Championships in Carrickfergus in 2018. Penny is saying that's another one for her hate list. Ormiston, Murr Street, Lumberjack, and Sladeburn. You didn't like Ormiston? I used to love Ormiston, still do. But then again, I have to admit now, when we played it, Mark and I used to go completely off record, and we used to make up counterparts right, left, and centre. So that's probably why it was fun for us. It was trying to throw in things right, left, and centre.
Accordions and fun. I don't think those two words go together.
You've no idea how much fun there is. Brian Emerson says, good to get a sound out of them yokes. Brian, come here to tell you, a good accordion orchestra sounding, unbelievable. Look, even AJ Bruncana says, class sound out of them accordions. Kenny Dummigan agrees with me. I have to say, Sladeburn, Lumberjack, take it or leave it. Murr Street I quite like, and Ormiston I love. So, yeah, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I play all of them. I don't mind any of them. Particularly, I wouldn't say I hate them. Is there any tune that I actually do hate?
The Cardigan.
Huh?
The Cardigan.
What?
The colour red.
Oh, the sash. Yes. Well, it's not even that I hate that. It's just it's so boring. Do something with it. Give it a set of parts and a piccolo or something like that. There, it's it's becomes a bit monotonous after a while. Now, next band is a border band. Neil, do you want to tell us a wee bit about it?
I think the only time I ever see this band is down at Rossnowler. I very rarely see them. And this wee clip was taken by Andrew and Stuart, the two brothers. And it's good to get a band on that you don't very often see.
I think we've maybe had them on once before, but you're right. It's not a band that I would see terrible often, and it is Newton Butler Border Defenders. Would I be right in saying that this is another Fermanagh band?
I think this is the third one if you take in 5 Mile Town and the pipe band.
I see. See, Brian was complaining earlier on, but just the one they can't count, obviously. But plays in a brass band, so what else do you expect? This is Newton Butler Border Defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that's what we should do some night is have a show comprised of your most hated tunes. So everybody send in a request for the tune that they hate the most. So Penny, you could send in for Ormiston or Moore Street or something like that there. I could send in Sash. What would
It would be ours.
Huh?
Penny Arcade would be ours.
Yeah, that's another one. I don't like that neither.
Mm-hmm. Overplayed.
Mm-hmm. I can remember standing at a parade and the first 15 bands went by me. Every single one of them played Penny Arcade. I couldn't believe it. I was
any accordion tune at all from me.
Something? It is my fervent desire that before this caper is finished, that we I convert some of you to the joys of an accordion band.
No, the more you play accordions, the more you put me off them. And take Michelle for instance. Michelle hadn't never been part of the band scene ever. Comes across here, sees the bands and everything else, and after a year of band parades, still detests the accordions as much as the first time she heard them.
I know, but she's influenced by you. She lives with you. I mean,
she's not influenced by me. Her music, her bands that she chooses and everything else, not influenced by me because I'm away taking pictures and everything else. She's listening to the bands and their own merits.
Robert Goldsmith says that his favourite ones is, I think you're meaning Ticonderoga. Robert, yeah? Is that the one that you're meaning? And Trevor says that his favourite is Black Beauty, or his most hated tune is Black Beauty. Lisa hates the Famine Song with a passion. We don't have a tune called the Famine Song, of course, Lisa. We have a tune called Slip Jumpy. Exactly. What else would be your most hated tune? What would be on this list if we were doing your hated tunes the whole night? I mean, that would be, because the thing about it is the tunes that you would hate would be tunes that I would love. Roy has no taste anyway, so there's no point in listening to him. But anything by Brass, Neil, you'll love,
Definitely.
So, the RAF from Ulster, Denise hates it. I tell you, it would be so funny because, apart from that one tune that you put forward yourself, you would probably love all the rest of them, Oh my goodness. Now, stay tuned. This next tune is fantastic, Neil. I absolutely love it. I don't know how you found it, but I mean, it's only from last year. I think it's brilliant. How did you find it? Oh, I'm not spending enough time on YouTube, obviously.
I've grown to love sort of not melody bands but concert bands lately. And Ballymena Young Conquerors, their Facebook page is full of fantastic pieces. And sadly, we learned during the week of the passing of James Nesbitt. And James Nesbitt's father, who was also James Nesbitt, he was in Ballymena Young Conquerors for over 70 years. He was there. And if you go onto their Facebook, they have a nice tribute and that to him. And I think that's how I found this clip.
This is absolutely brilliant. I would absolutely love, if there's any members of accordion bands out there who could do this justice, I would absolutely love to hear this played by an accordion band.
No, don't ruin it.
Ignore him. This is Ballymena Young Conquerors playing the theme from Soldier. If you're listening to this in headphones, get your sound up because this is fantastic. Roy, you can have our joint mother. She can be your real mother, my adopted one, because her taste in music is terrible. She said zzz, sleeping noises for that one. Absolutely fantastic. Mother, have you no taste? Have I taught you nothing? Huh? Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Carl Thompson. Carl says, how can anyone say the sash is a bad tune? It's what our history is all about, and the Orange Men won the sashes to commemorate our history. Carl, you said that to the wrong person, my friend. First of all, the sash of the tune that you know today is not the original tune for the sash, okay? Secondly, the sash has absolutely nothing to do with our history or our commemorating the history and nothing in it related to history. So how is it yes, I know it's the most popular of the Orange songs, but it's probably the least connected to our history. Okay. And it's not the original tune either. Right. Now that we've got that settled, let's move very quickly on to our next band. This is the band that I was talking about earlier, Neil, when I said I don't think I've ever seen them live.
I've only ever seen them a couple of times, and it was down at Tully Haven's Silver Band Parade, and I know absolutely nothing about them. Their uniforms a mix of some in t-shirts and some in shirts. As far as I know, it's somewhere outside Market Hill, and they don't have a Facebook page or nothing else, so I really know nothing about them.
So if anybody knows much about this next band, fill us in. It's definitely not a band that I have seen live. Until Neil pulled them up on this here, I didn't really know that they existed. So this is Tanach Hill Flute Band. So help us out. Where are they from? How long have they been on the road? The whole works. Let us know all about them. We've established they're from around Killyleagh area. Are they a new band? Are they a band that has been going for a very, very long time? But Cunningham says they're a very old lodge band in Killyleagh district in Armagh. So there you go. I have to say Facebook is probably one of the best tools that bands have had over the past 5+ years, you know, for promotion and for, you know, getting their events out and all that there. I mean, they're fantastic because usually when I'm looking to do something about a band, that's the first thing I do is look for the Facebook page. Whereas 10-15 years ago, bands were having to create their own websites and then they became out of date and they were really, really difficult to maintain. Whereas Facebook's brilliant. I have to say it's brilliant for that anyway. It's got a lot of faults, but I think it's brilliant. You're probably the same, Neil. You would spend a lot of time on Facebook band pages.
Yeah, definitely checking out, you know, where they're going and what they're doing next, and are they running any charity events and stuff like that there. When I'm doing Band Fan TV, you always try and promote bands for what they're doing. So you're always checking through lists of bands and where they are next.
I always find getting information from bands is like pulling hen's teeth. Because when I'm writing the newspaper column, it's, you know, like, okay, let me know where you're going to be next week so I can say where you're going to be next week. Or where were you last week so I can say where you know. And, you know, it's like, oh, my goodness. It's like they don't want you to promote them. Now, the next one, I listened to this clip and it's a brilliant clip of this band. Do you want to talk a wee bit about the clip, Neil? And then I'll go on to what I was going to say anyway.
This accordion band's a band that the thing I noticed about them is how many male accordion players there is in it, because most accordion bands that I know are mainly female. So it was pointed out at on the clips or on the writing below how many male members was playing the accordions, and accordion band from Portadown that again I know very little about.
That's true. Now that you point that out, they do have a lot of male members. Yeah, you're right. I suppose it's something I always took for granted. But I mean, 15-20 years ago, when I'm thinking accordion bands, there were a lot more men in them. I mean, what could be more manly than strutting around carrying one of those big boxes? For goodness sake, it takes more strength to do that than them out of side drums and flutes carry on. Definitely, if you want to show your man, join an accordion band. But so I completely distracted there. But this, I watched your clip of this whenever I was putting it into the list, and then I thought, what would this sound like from a brass band perspective? And I looked at a lot of clips, and I have to say that the brass band arrangement for this particular march is much, much better than the accordion band arrangement. So I would love to hear, again, an accordion band getting the brass band arrangement for this and playing it as the brass band arrangement. But this is Edgarstown Accordion playing Anchors Away. And I do believe it's going to Drumcree on the church service. Short and sweet there. Brian is complaining that there was only 2 silver bands on instead of 3.
Fermanagh bands, because 5 Mile Town isn't in Fermanagh.
All right.
Now, my mother said earlier on about the fact that I wasn't renowned for my geography. You can't blame me this time. It wasn't me.
Geography, maths.
I took off Facebook. Blame Facebook.
He says Cavan Lake isn't County Tyrone.
On the border. It's on the border.
It's close enough. He'll be happy after the next clip, so don't worry. Who was it earlier on? Paul Biggersmith says that I took that bad about the sashes. No, that I took it bad. It's just a bugbear of mine. It's absolutely, like, I don't know why we consider our like our biggest Protestant tune. B, nobody knows that, or ever knows, or very few ever knows the verses of it, which is another bugbear. And then also the fact it's so little to do with our culture. It just drives me nuts. If you want to know about our culture, listen to Dolly's Bray or the Battle of Garva or Derry's Walls. Perfect example. Really good history, culture, the whole works. Brilliant tune. Now, the next one will keep you happy, Brian. It will keep us all happy because it's absolutely fantastic. Neil, I don't think we need any reason to have this introduced because it's just brilliant. And I dare anyone to come back after this clip and tell us that they don't like silver bands, brass bands. This one says brass band. It does. CWA brass band.
Mm-hmm. They call themselves a brass band. It's an amalgamation of 3 different bands from Carrickfergus, Whitehouse, and Ashgrove. And this video was taken at Shankill Road Defenders contest when they done the entertainment in between the bands.
Brian says that you have redeemed yourself, Neil, so you're safe.
Well, as you know, I'm a big Madness fan, so that had to go on.
Yes, that's right. We saw each other. Was it last year, the year before, at the Madness concert, Custom House Square? Funny,
Yeah.
I was. If it had been at my Solent Fair, a sore foot. Right, cool. Content yourself. I would have ran out and got my Madness hat because it's sitting up the stairs, but not. I would have been down by the time next week.
But your foot's been too sore getting up and down off your soapbox all night. That's what you should have used. That's what you should have used to cut the trees, to take the branches off your soapbox. You wouldn't have fallen off that.
Craig's going nuts here. I don't know what he's looking for. Stop screaming, hamster. I know I'm normally off by now. He's not going to go to bed. It's bedtime. Right, so we've only got 2 bands. Yes, Rebecca had said, is it a late night tonight? It is indeed. So we've only 2 bands left. We're going to get through them really, really quickly. The next one, Neil, do you want to introduce them?
Yeah, band from Newton Abbey that again's under the radar. Whenever you think of Newton Abbey, it's usually Rathcoole or Clackburn that comes to mind. But Monkstown ICV are over 45 years old, heading on, I think it's 2024. It's their 50th anniversary. So they've been on the road a while, and they've been a great band all that time.
Sorry, I was. This is our last tune of the evening. Neil, thank you very, very much for being with. I have 2 dogs going nuts behind me. Thank you very, very much for being with us this evening and choosing the clips. It's been our pleasure to have you on along. And as always, everyone's loved your clips.
It's been my pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
And Roy, thank you for being here as always, I suppose.
Thank you, Roy.
You're welcome.
Do you want to thank me or anything? No?
Yeah, Polly, thank you for having me.
I'm going to joke.
No?
If he said anything positive about me, I think I would fall off my chair. and hurt the
Valerie,
ground.
excuse me, Valerie.
Yes, dearest.
On more than one occasion, I've actually said thank you for being there at the other side and and talking, but not tonight because you went on your soapbox too many times tonight.
Did I? I
Yeah.
thought I was quite refrained. I
No.
thought I was quite restrained tonight. I can usually rant more than that.
Oh, I know.
Get me started. Get me started.
It's not unusual for us, for Valerie and I, to have a quick 1 minute phone call that turns into an hour and a half.
Yeah, because although we hang up on this here, we're maybe usually still gabbing in an hour's time, So, thank you all so much for joining us as always. I hope you've really enjoyed tonight. Do join us again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock because Lisa has picked a whole selection of wonderful Black Saturday clips for you from across the different counties, different districts, and so on. And we'll be featuring those all tomorrow night. In the meantime, we're going to finish up this evening with a little bit of the Lindsay Mooney Memorial playing at Star of the Rose Parade in 2016. So from all of us here at Ulster Bands Forum, from Lisa and from Neil, Lisa from Loyal Ulster Scottish Bands, from Neil, who is on the March videos, and also on behalf of all the videographers who we feature and whose work, we couldn't do this without them. Do remember they're all listed at the end of the parade. Make sure and give them a wee like and subscribe for all their hard work and effort. So this is us saying good night. We'll see you tomorrow night. And in the meantime, keep the flits to the myth because we're coming to the tune.
It was when England's glorious sun in 1688 was overcast with treason's cloud and popery stood elate, that up arose her Protestants, the peasant and the peer, and vowed the chain of perjure James that they would not dainty wear. They sought them out a prudent chief to guide their heart and seal, to lead them on that victory might bless their flashing steel. And who so fit to guide that host in all its bright array as William, Prince of Orange, ere he landed at Torbay? Then up arose the mighty chief and left his native shore, and rode upon the stormy waves our freedom to restore. Upon his flag was blazoned forth, high fluttering o'er the main, that our religion and our laws he ever would maintain. 'Twas then in gallant style he stood upon the the vessel's prow, with victory on his flashing sword and wisdom on his brow. And tens of thousands greeted him upon his natal day, when he, our glorious Orange chief, first landed at Torbay. Come, brethren of the Orange bond, a bond ne'er to be riven. Whene'er we give great William's name, a bumper must be given. For if you'd fire a fou de joie to him who victory won, come prime and load and see you give charge unto your gun. The eloquence of bumpers full, there's nothing can surpass. There's naught expresses kindred soul like friendship's social glass. And thus we give our song and toast with 3 times 3 huzzah, the memory of King William and his landing at Torbay. The memory of King William and his landing at Torbay.